Well, hey guys, it is great to be back. And I say back because I've been off from running for a good while now due to an Achilles problem. And I'll link to a video around how I dealt with my Achilles problem and much more importantly, how to avoid getting one yourself. Your Achilles tendon is the bit at the back of your ankle. Do not damage that because it's very, very bad. I'll tell you that. Now here, I'm back running and I've got a couple of pairs of trainers that I've been running in to talk to you about. And I've got something called the Nike Free RN Motion Flyknit. Now Nike obviously is the manufacturer, and I've got the 2016, 2017 models to compare for you here because there's some differences, you know. Nike is the manufacturer first of all. Free, I think that's just a bit of a joke because they're nowhere near free. They're very expensive trainers. RN and is something they just seem to have as a nomenclature. Motion is the important part because these represent what Nike call a breakthrough in running. So apparently they hired a bunch of guys to study the way the human foot works. Now you would have thought they would have done that many, many years ago, being a running shoe company primarily, but no, they, well, back then they were anyway, but no, they didn't do that. They've only just seemed to have done it. And they've discovered that actually the flatter the sole, the better the running position is for the foot, because actually you've got this very clever mechanical arch in your foot that is designed to soften impact and to help your body take the strain as you run, and it's designed just for that. And in fact, agreeing with the principle in Christopher McDougall's book Born to Run, which I highly recommend you go and read. It's a really good, interesting book, and it actually mentions Nike, not in a very positive way. But I never thought I'd be interested in a running book, but that's one I was interested in. I'll put a link to it, if you like, in the description, and you can go and get it and have a copy. But anyway, these shoes are minimalist in that they have a very thin sole and a very thin, just underfoot all the way, if you like. They're very, very light, and what they're meant for is people who do toe running. Now, you'll see another video, which I'll link, where I reviewed the Vibram 5 Fingers, and those are the kind of glove sock type shoes that minimalist runners like to run in, based on the theory that actually if you run on your toes you're going to be much more efficient, and when you run with a big thick heel you can't help sometimes impacting your heel, and that takes the weight and the aggression that you feel through the pounding on the streets and puts that straight up to your knees, which is where it's not supposed to be, and avoids the arch doing its job. But anyway, I've got two shoes here. If you're interested in these, then just so you can see the difference between the two. Let me say straight away, if you don't know, if you've not done a lot of running which is kind of forward foot running, so practiced running on your toes, practiced working in environments where you've developed your calves, you've developed your Achilles. Now, my Achilles was damaged through doing lots and lots of intensive speed work too quickly, so nothing to do with toe running. I've been running on the front of my feet for a long time now. But if you've not been doing that, they recommend that you don't buy these straight away because you could hurt yourself. And if you do buy them, work into it slowly. Just do, you know, half a mile for a while, then a mile or something, and just work up to front foot running. You will be much more efficient. You will be much more effective. You'll go for longer. You'll feel much more comfortable. You'll feel much less stressed at the end of it in terms of body fatigue, joint fatigue. I just think it's a wonderful design. You know, why they haven't done it ages ago is who knows. But anyway, there's less of a shoe here than you might expect, and it's actually more of a price than you might expect because of that. There's no point in me giving you a price because depending on where you live, that will vary greatly. The wonderful thing about these is that as you're running, it spreads the load. The base gets bigger as you land on it, which kind of distributes the weight, which is quite good. You've got this fairly thin sole, as I mentioned, so if you're trying to do a half marathon and you're going to be absolutely hanging by the end of it and just stomping along on your heels, this is not the shoe for you because it doesn't take the impact from your heel. You're meant to not use your heel really, or just kiss the ground with your heel if you like it at best. So if that's you, and if you're still primarily a heel runner, perhaps not the shoe for you. But if you do want something which is light and effective, then I couldn't recommend it more. Now, what's good about these? They're very, very light in weight. They're made of this Flyknit material, which is incredibly stretchy, incredibly light, and incredibly breathable. So they do feel a lot like socks on your feet. Now, I've got very wide feet, and these are quite good for that because they're very, very stretchy. So if I try and buy the Nike Free RN, for example, not the Motion, but just the standard RN, they're quite narrow. And Nike do make a narrow shoe, generally speaking. So us wide-footed people, not very comfortable in Nikes, but these are an exception. And you'll see they've got a nice tight neck on them, if you like. And they do fit very comfortably to the foot. The laces for wide-footed people aren't quite as long as I would like. It's easy to do a bow. It's not very good to do a double knot. You'll see also, I wonder how these will work out over time. So you don't have holes like you might have in, if I just grab my old Asics. Now you can see with an old pair of Asics, you've got the classic holes. In fact, these have got lots of holes in them, not necessarily for laces, but these have done a good few thousand miles, I'll tell you. But these don't have that hole. They have the kind of loops there. I wonder how long they'll last. They seem fairly tough. I've given them a good tug, and I've worn them for quite a few miles now, and I haven't had any stress or damage from them. The material seems fairly tough at the front where the toe goes. It's quite tough material. That seems great. And really the point of getting these for you today is to compare them then to the 2017 model. You can obviously buy the 2016 version a lot cheaper online these days than you can the 2017. Straight away, there are two big differences. The bases are the same. We'll come back to that in a minute. But the two big differences are they've gone to the higher ankle attachment here, if you like. So it's a bit more of a sock fit. Now, you definitely do need to wear socks with these, I would suggest. I mean, you could try without. I haven't. I've worn socks with them. But I was wondering, will this be okay? I like to have a couple of pairs of trainers on the go, so you can they last when you use them alternately, then longer than they would do if you just use them in series, if you like. And I thought this was going to be a bit weird, but do you know, this is the most comfortable shoe I think I've ever put on straight away. As soon as you put it on, it feels like a perfectly fitting glove. It's absolutely gorgeous to the feel on the foot. I was so immensely surprised, even more so than this. This is comfortable, don't get me wrong. This is very nice. But this was something else. It was just like your foot was being gently hugged. It was absolutely lovely. Now, the other main difference, apart from this thing up here, which didn't seem to matter to me, I don't know why they've done it. Maybe it adds to that feel of comfort and just solidity, so it just sits in place in a beautiful way. The other thing, of course, is that they don't have laces. They have Velcro straps, two Velcro straps. So you've got one there and you've got one there. Straps open like that. And then you pull your foot in there, and then you obviously put the strap back on, two straps just like that. Now, if you look at the photograph, I'll show you now, you can see that with wide feet, it really only just touches in place, the outer and inner strap, in fact. So there isn't an awful lot of give. And also, you can't see it now because I've kind of got rid of a lot of fluff. This bit here collects fluff like nobody's business. So if you are strapping there, and it's not covering the whole thing, you're going to have pretty narrow feet, I would suggest, for it to cover the whole thing. This does collect a lot of fluff, and I didn't really like that very much. Hopefully this will last a good long time. I think generally speaking with these shoes, you're going to be prepared for not running in them as many miles as you would do in, like for my example, the Asics I showed you a moment ago. Those Asics are big and thick and hard. These are a much thinner soled shoe, so by definition you won't get as many miles out of them as you might do, yet they're at least as expensive as other shoes. But I just wanted to show you the differences. I was very curious, 2016 versus 2017. I think these, the first editions of this particular Nike running shoe, the Motion, I think these were brought out first in 2016. I could be wrong, by all means correct me in the comments. So I got some because they're very, very nice. But also the 2017, they're in many ways the same shoe, but in many ways a very different shoe. So the soles are very, very similar. They spread the load of the weight on impact, which is a very good thing. For people with wide feet, these are even more comfortable. They really are it's like running in a pair of slippers. It sounds really stupid, but it's like running in a pair of slippers. You have got that difference in design. You've got this bit up here, which you might not want to wear out. You know, I can wear these with a pair of shorts out to the park or something with the guys, with the kids. That's fine. These, they're you know, might be a little bit trendy for me. I don't know, I'm not, you know, super trendy. You might be fine with that. Also Velcro, I don't know, I'm kind of not 6 anymore. But if you're okay with Velcro, then that's fine. It saves you doing up laces, and in fact, it's more practical than the laces, but hey, it's Velcro. They also come in different colors. Now, these are fairly classic Nike shoes. You can't get these really in a black with a white stripe. You could probably do the Nike special service where you design your colors yourself. Maybe you could do that. I haven't checked that out. But these were the most modest version I could get, if you like. So I don't know, if you've got any of these, what do you think? What do you think about flat foot running generally? Sorry, flat foot? No, front foot running. What do you think about front foot running generally? Do you think it's a good idea? Have you tried it? Do you agree with those people who say you should do it? Do you agree or disagree that actually heels on trainers are a bad thing and arch supports are a bad thing? And really, really actually we should get back to the much more conventional idea of letting your foot do the work it was designed to do and support the rest of your body that way. I don't know, but I just wanted you to see the two different types. If you're thinking, what do I buy? Do I look for a cheaper pair of 2016s? Well, that's these. And in terms of the material, it is, you know, it's a knitted material. It's quite nice, very stretchy, very breathable. You can see my fingers below there. And this one again, just as much, I would say, if not more so. The breathability, the stretchiness of the fabric you can see inside there. They're both lovely shoes. If you're okay with this bit here, which actually is lovely when it's on, if you're okay with the Velcro, you're okay with a slightly more wacky design. I don't know why they think more potentially conservative runners who are going to run kind of minimalist style will want a non-minimalist kind of funky shoe. I don't know why they thought that. I would have much preferred a little bit more classic style, maybe with the Velcro, maybe with this, I don't know, but a bit more classic colouring. I will of course put a link to them down in the description. Try and find some on Amazon for you or something else like that, but I'm sure you can find them yourself. That's easy enough. Please give a thumbs up if you think this is useful and subscribe for more videos. Both those two things really make a difference. Anyway, there you go. You pay your money, you makes your choice. Thoroughly recommend them. Let me just say again, please, if you're not familiar with running on the front of your foot, work your way into these slowly. Don't go out and do a half marathon if you've never kind of run in a very low heel shoe before, otherwise you will do yourself some damage. But there you go, 2016, 2017 Nike RN Motion Flyknits. Thank you very much.